Water is one of the most precious resources to both the living and non-living in the world. Ever since the birth of human beings, people have moved to civilize near bodies of water. People dream, dance, write, and sing about it. Moreover, people everywhere, every day, need it. Unfortunately, water has turned into one of the major problems among countries with the lack of access to safe drinking water. In order to prevent water shortages, the economy is obligated to come up with a new alternative to expand water supply by advancing technology such as desalination plants and rainwater harvestings because it should not be taken for granted, considering water is a survival system for most living things. Water is needed for drinking, for cooking, for energy, for fun, for life. It is not only humans who need it. All living organisms depend on it to survive. Nonetheless, the world today is on the edge of a global water crisis. 70% of the surface area of the earth is covered in water, but only approximately 3% of it is considered fresh and drinkable. Conserve energy future. Water is an irreplaceable resource that is essential to life. However, from pollution, population and economic growth, climate change, and other challenges have impacted the environment in a negative way. The 20th century has taken the toll of the water supply with the population growth and technology explosions. There are more people who do not have access to clean drinking water today than there was before, considering fresh water sources are used up or contaminated. Also, due to climate change, it is very likely that droughts will eventually spread. Major rivers such as the Colorado River no longer reach sea level, Pacific Institute. Every continent has been affected, not just the ones that are normally dry. According to the United Nations Department of Economics and Social Affairs, about a total of 748 million of people do not have access to improved drinking water. The problem of water shortage needs to be addressed and re-emphasized to the public so that everyone is fully aware of the issue and will take the responsibility to do their part and save water. Water shortage is a serious challenge to sustainable development, but if it can be managed effectively, it can play an important role to strengthen the economics and environmental system. Global freshwater resources are slowly weakening. However, desalination may be a solution to help conserve fresh water. Desalination is a process that filters saltine and other particles and bacteria from salt water to fresh water. Because salt water requires a greater amount of energy, desalinating seawater is more costly than it would be to filter out water from rivers or underground conservations. Lauren Williams, from the article Turning Ocean Water into Drinkable Water, addresses how seawater is taken from the ocean through pipes set out in the middle of the ocean or on the seafloor. The water is then filtered through a reverse osmosis system that pressurizes the water, which remains the drinkable water. Today, 7 oceans desalination plants are being examined from the coastline of Dana Point to Monterey Bay. Williams strongly believed those plants could produce closely to 10% of freshwater needed in Los Angeles and Orange counties. Although it may be quite costly to build, desalination plants do not depend on changing factors because its main source is the ocean. Even if all the resources are produced through desalination plants, the ocean will continue to provide an infinite amount of supply. Even in times of droughts, people will still have access to fresh water to water their crops or to use for their daily lives. Water deficiency at times cannot be avoided, though connecting to ancient water harvesting technology has advanced water filtration using rain catchers, the most effective and cheapest alternative to the water supply systems. The system does not require wells, pumps, electricity, or any migration plans needed. According to the article Raincatcher.org, working to solve global water crisis, Mark Arnfield mentioned about 70% of the earth is covered in water, with about 800 million people do not have clean drinking water. In third world countries, Sanitation is a big issue. 6,000 people that die because of waterborne diseases and 4,500 victims are children under the age of 5. Water catchers had provided drinkable water for more than 700,500 people in third world countries since 2009. Rainwater harvesting provides backup sources of water and is very easy to maintain and is environmentally friendly. It is simple to install and it is easy to collect water through pipes or through rain gutters from the roof. Using perfectly clean water to wash dishes, cars, and other related household chores is very unsustainable practice to being eco-friendly. When harvesting rainwater, the water that is left is relatively pure and toxic-free. Water is essential to every aspect of life, and without it, the world would be severely jeopardized. The 20th century has evolved tremendously, and in doing so, water has been contaminated and has been taken for granted. With the population growth, more people do not have access to clean drinking water. Because water is a survival system for most living things, people need to come up with a sense to take responsibility to better the environment, using advanced technologies such as desalination plants and rainwater harvesting to protect global water crisis.